We have before us the opportunity to forge, for ourselves and for future generations, a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
A warlord is a leader able to exercise military, economic, and political control over a subnational territory within a sovereign state due to their ability to mobilize loyal armed forces. These armed forces, usually considered malicious, are loyal to the warlord rather than to the state regime. Warlords have existed throughout much of history, albeit in a variety of different capacities within the political, economic, and social structure of states or in governed territories. Welcome to Internet Warlords. The war for the Internet. Every day billions of people around the planet engage in a deadly war for the minds of mankind. Internet Warlords podcast is dedicated to winning the war for the Internet. Each week, we will feature the best and the worst of the Internet in our never-ending quest to end the war for the Internet. Are you ready? Buckle up, check your feelings at the door. Sensitive individuals that need to be protected from reality need go no further. Internet Warlords does not condone violence nor do we give legal advice. Any individuals featured on this broadcast are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. As we do our final broadcast check, please take this time to go to internetwarlords.com and find out how you can help support this broadcast. We have apparel and other items available at our online store. Donations are always appreciated but never expected. Please do enjoy yourself and feel free to call in at any time. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon for live notifications. Welcome to Internet Warlords. Let the war begin. Now your host, the CEO of Internet Warlords, BJ Abernathy.
Together, we will make America great again.
When we are successful, we will be. We have a real chance at this new world order.
And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy CJ, the Internet Warlord, here, rocking it live and loud from the great state of Meth, Dakota, on the 4th day of March 2020. And I'll tell you what, you guys, I've put in a lot of work in the last few days. You know, I've been grinding it, trying to, just get done with, my vision, my plan. And, I've kind of had done a lot of that to get to the point where, I think I'm at the point where I can evolve to the next level of my broadcast and how I want to do this. And I've had the pleasure today of talking with a longtime buddy of mine. Some of you might know him, some of you might not. But if you don't, you will, and you will be a better person for it. So, at the end of the day, Kris and I don't always agree politically. I think that's fair to say. I think that they can't hear you right now, Kris. I'm giving you this grand introduction, remember? One that your mother would be proud of. Mr. Weatherby would look at and go, "Where did I go wrong?" Mr. Hanna would go like this. Now, I've known Kris for a very long time, it feels like, but it doesn't feel like that very long time. And Kris is a man of goals. Kris is a man of just being who he is. And, one of the things that I like about Kris is Kris has never been afraid to tell me the honest truth, whether I disagree with it or not. And so I hope that you guys will watch this broadcast and let us talk the way we normally talk. But at the end of the day, you can also follow Kris, and he's got his own clothing line, and he's got his own organizations that he likes to work with and promote. And I told you guys I only like to bring on the best, and I believe that this is one of the best there are. So without further ado, everybody, this is Mr. Christopher Napper of Snappy Clothing. How you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. Well, I think I'm still muted there.
Oh, well, how about that? Would you like to talk now?
There, now I'm still fantastic.
All right, awesome.
I appreciate the over-flattering intro.
Yeah, man. Well, after you've known somebody for so long and you know, the type of person you are. I mean, it's not really hard to speak highly of somebody you respect, you know?
All right back at you, man.
But the one thing that you and I do disagree on is who should be president of the United States right now.
Yeah, we kind of see a little differently there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, so can we agree that we can disagree politically, and I still don't hope you get hit by a bus, and I hope you actually have a good day? And
Very much so. I feel that way about you, so
Right.
I hope you feel that way about me.
Right. You know, I think there's too many people in this world that when they disagree politically, they lose friends. And I think that it's fair to say, Kris, and you can tell me if I'm lying, but I'm pretty sure that I told you that Donald Trump was going to be president before he even had declared. So
Yeah, you did. You told it.
I called it.
I was very wrong.
You know, and the thing is, not that maybe necessarily that I necessarily wanted to be right at that point, but more like I can just see the writing on the wall. He's the candidate that brought the piss and vinegar to the fight. You know, like you know who's doing that this time around? Bernie Sanders is bringing that piss and fight in the Democrat Party against a party that is clearly rigging it against him, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on. Because I know you know Bernie policies like the back of your hand. I know you know about, not necessarily, I don't think you'd call yourself a communist, right?
No, I don't think so.
You're not like, hello, comrade, I send you some Russian vodka. No, you're not that.
No Russian vodka here.
No Russian vodka. So, I mean, so you're not a Russian, agent. You're not somebody that, is sitting out there saying, I support bread lines and government ownership of everything, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay, because when people think Bernie Sanders, they're like, yeah, well, at least the poor line up for food under what his plan is, because under anybody else's plan, the real rich eat. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I think people misconstrue Bernie's version of democratic socialism with the more authoritarian socialism of, like, Venezuela or whatever, stuff like that. But they're very different.
Right. I mean, Bernie Sanders, is he a communist? Would you call him a communist?
No, not at all.
No, I don't think I would either. Would you call him a democratic socialist?
Yeah, he calls himself that, so yeah, I'd call him that.
You know, I kind of think when I hear democratic socialist, I think of a pile of dog shit. And then I think about, like, sprinkling shit with, like, those colorful sprinkles. And then saying, here, it's democratic socialism. But, Mr. Napper, hear me where I'm wrong and tell me if I'm wrong. But, farmers, as much as they hate to admit it, they are socialists, and
they benefit from socialism.
Not only do they benefit from socialism, I mean, it's weird. They flat out deny that socialism is what they believe in, but then you watch them complain about not getting the government check, and a lot of them hate to be called welfare queens, and you're just like. You're just like, man, but so your brand of socialism's okay, but that brand of socialism is wrong, and that's.
So I'm going to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
That's exactly where, like, I think people don't understand Bernie's version of socialism. It really is just kind of expanding the social programs that we already have here. They're not anything really that outlandish. People always talk about Bernie like he's so far left, like outrageous. But like, we already have these same programs. And there's a lot of socialism built into America already. Everything from, like, you're talking about farmers, even like fire and police departments are thanks to socialism. The mail system is socialist. Medicare is socialist. Social Security is socialist. These are all programs that we all, like, for the most part, love and enjoy, and they've been relatively successful in America. I mean, I'm not an economist, so I can't put a hard number on that. However, I think our current system, which has done nothing but give huge tax breaks to the elite super rich and the major corporations, to where they take in, tons of our tax dollars and give nothing back, is not working for America. And you can clearly see that in our, wealth inequality, and the fact that our minimum wage is a poverty level wage. These things don't need to exist in the richest country in the world. Yeah, why not?
We interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast for breaking news from Warlord News Network.
Quits. On Monday, Bloomberg told reporters that Biden was taking votes away from him. Bloomberg is now making the case that Biden is the best Democrat to defeat President Trump in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Gross.
what do you think of that?
Gross.
Yeah. You know what?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead, Mr. Nepper.
I think the Democratic establishment is making the same mistake they made with Hillary. I think they're not seeing the candidate that excites the people enough to get out and vote. They're trying to push this more moderate candidate in the hopes that it will bring in swing voters and someone that goes along with the establishment. Bernie is not an establishment guy, so the establishment isn't going to support him.
Right.
But my whole thing is that right now in the current political climate, I don't really believe swing voters are a thing. It's almost non-existent. I think the goal needs to be to get a candidate that excites the base enough to get out and vote, especially the young people.
Why are the Democrats going around a pedophile? It blows my mind that the Democrats are rallying around a pedophile. It just blows my mind that the Democrats are like, we're all in for pedophilia, to the point where we don't care if the former vice president was sniffing and molesting children in public. We're just going to go what is it? I mean, if you had a gun to my head and asked me to vote for Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden, I'd tell you to shoot me. But if I wanted to live, I wouldn't vote for pedophile Joe. I can't find any images of Joe Biden, or not Joe Biden. I can't find any images of Bernie Sanders sniffing women and children.
Yeah, I hope that's not a thing. I hope that doesn't exist.
I mean, Kris, why are the Democrats going all in on pedophilia, Kris? I mean, honestly, what's your thought?
First of all, I very much agree that he is way too handsy and inappropriate. I don't know. I've never heard confirmation.
That's not even.
He's a pedophile.
Oh my good lord, man! Hold on. No,
but it's very inappropriate.
No, dude. No, dude. I'll find it. Hold on. Hey, dude. Joe
documented
Biden.
Evidence that he has had sex with children.
Come on, dude. If I had documented evidence that Joe Biden was having sex with children, that'd be child pornography, dude. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, no. Let's just go to the images on the screen here, Mr. Napper, and see if we
I
can.
don't know why that man can't just keep his hands to himself.
No, Kris. This is pedophilia.
This is just too much.
This is pedophilia, Kris. This is, well, that's just gross. But this is, look at, this is just wrong. He gropes this little girl all the way down to her chest. I mean, who does this? Who does this?
Very
Look,
awkward.
Kris, why is he grabbing a baby dick? Kris, explain to me right now, I'm putting you on the spot, why is Joe Biden grabbing this baby dick?
I'm hoping he doesn't know where his hand is going there. I don't know. I can't defend it. I don't want to defend it because it's gross.
Are you going to vote for it?
No, no.
So, given the choice between Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden, you pick Bernie Sanders.
I bet Bernie Sanders, no matter anybody.
Right.
Bernie's my guy.
Right. If Bernie Sanders could come on here, you'd probably have a heart attack, and that'd be the last time we see you. But, you know,
I would be very praiseworthy.
Well, yeah, you would definitely be praiseworthy, but I'm pretty sure after that you would have a heart attack and you would end up going comatose and we'd have to pull the plug. But at least you got to meet your idol, Bernie Sanders. You know? And hopefully we can give you 100% of the 1% of the 3% that own 4% of America, and some of their wealth needs to go to you, Mr. Napper.
I appreciate that.
That's socialism, Kris. That's like basically the state taking the money from somebody who's got it and giving it to you. It's theft.
When you have these like super billionaires that are just sitting on just insane amounts of money, you can't. That hurts the economy. Like that money is not circulating. It is literally hurting all of us. But the fact it's not circulating, and the fact that, like I said, the poor, even the working poor, are flat broke, like they're still living in poverty. It means that money needs to get circulating.
Like Joe Biden circulating baby dicks? Like, I'm telling you, like...
Not quite that way.
Dude is way too happy to be grabbing that baby dick right now.
That was very uncomfortable.
It is extremely uncomfortable, but this is the head. This is who the Democrats are rallying behind instead of your boy Bernie.
Well, see, this is the thing, is that just like last election, I didn't really know any...
Look at this, he's kissing a boy, dude. Come on, dude. Catholic priests would lose their they would lose their shit. Like, they're like, wait a minute, we're being prosecuted and this dude's like sniffing kids in public? Like,
they probably want him to do it like that.
Yeah, dude, look at this lovely picture, dude. Tell me that's how a grown man touches a child. Tell me that, Kris. Yeah, man. How does that make you feel, Kris? How does that make you feel, Kris? The Democrats are literally about to elect a pedophile to their head of their party.
That's it, man. They're making a mistake.
Yeah, they are. And what did I tell you if it came down to Donald Trump versus Bernie Sanders?
Oh, then Bernie wins.
I told you that the only person that stood a chance. I told you the only person that stands a chance of beating Donald Trump is Bernie Sanders. Now, whether or not he would have or not, that's a whole nother subject, but I told you.
My problem is mostly with the, electoral college. I don't know if he'd get the delegates to support Bernie. We'd see.
Well, put it to you this way. The Democrats...
I think for sure, I have almost no doubt that Bernie would win the popular vote.
Oh, yeah?
By a fair margin.
Oh, yeah? Hey, Kris. Why is Joe Biden, making out with this little boy?
Ugh. I'm just sick. That's really gross.
Yeah, dude. You want me to zoom in on you want me to zoom in on it? You want me to zoom in on all the times that he's been groping kids and...
Yeah, he's a creepy dude.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take my children to see him.
Look at this dude.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
Yeah. So what does that tell?
But I mean, our current president was known for grabbing women.
Look at he's groping a kid there. Groping a kid here, a grope there, a grope everywhere, a grope, Mr. Napper? Really?
It was way too handsy, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, that's called pedophilia, Kris. It's not called handsy. It's called being a pedophile. Meaning he has sexual fantasies about children.
It's so gross.
And he gets a little bit of it out that way.
It's gross.
And he does it to grown women too. Look, Kris, that's a grown woman.
That's just wrong.
It's a grown woman. This dude's about to become president. At least Donald Trump, when he said grab him by the pussy, doesn't have a video of him grabbing him by the pussy. Here's a video of Joe Biden groping and molesting children in front of us.
I bet there are videos of Trump that have just been suppressed.
Dude, if you're telling me you think the pee-pee tape exists, Mr. Napper, it doesn't. The FBI, because you want to know why I know it doesn't exist? It's 2020. If it did exist, it would have already been leaked on the internet and on every single news organization in the country.
I don't know, man. You have people like Epstein that probably had tons of dirt on other people, but we'll never see it because more powerful people have ways of suppressing all that.
Right. I need just a second here, Mr. Napper. I think it's saying that it's disconnected the audio to our thing here, so I'm going to switch here. I'm going to switch here. I'm going to switch back. And then tell me if you can hear that this... tell me if you can hear that this... well, I guess I don't really have a YouTube video up here, huh? I guess we could find it, though. You can see I've been on... where's that? Oh, I guess this is 52 minutes ago. Let's hear from the pedophile himself.
Okay.
Folks, look, I want to thank everyone. It's resonating all over the country.
Oh shoot. That's my bad. Technical difficulties. Can you hear that, Kris?
Folks, look,
Yeah, I hear it.
I want to thank everyone. We had a great night last night, and tremendous support from all across the nation with victories in Texas, Virginia, North Carolina, Arkansas, Alabama.
I thought that Bernie won Texas.
I'm not sure. I forget now.
Tennessee,
I got
Oklahoma,
this one.
Minnesota, Massachusetts, and just this morning we heard we won Maine as well.
Now, excuse me real quick while I go sniff this child. And nobody seems to think it's weird, and everybody's still voting for me. Like, Jesus.
Well, see, I don't know any individual people that are like Biden supporters. Just like last election, I didn't know any individual people that were Hillary supporters.
Kris,
up until like she was the only candidate left.
You live in Washington. I lived in Washington. Liberal bastion. I did not meet one person with a "I'm with her" sticker.
Yeah. Up until she was the only one left. But when there were still multiple candidates like Bernie and I remember that whoever else was in the running,
Well,
there were a lot of other people getting support. But nobody was like, oh, I'm Team Hillary.
right.
It's like now, I don't know anybody who's like, oh, I'm Team Biden. But I mean, if that's
I like sniffing children, Biden 2020. Like, come on, man. Like, Kris, dude.
Who's that rally behind
If you told
that?
me, like, hey, I could vote for Donald Trump or a pedophile, I'd vote for Donald Trump.
I just don't think I can vote at that point.
I'm just saying that, you know, I haven't seen videos and pictures of Donald Trump sniffing children. Like, if you tell me right now, if
At that point, I'm voting for revolution.
right, I'm voting to bring back the hanging tree for sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, Kris, though, what I'm trying to get at is why do you think the Democrats are revolving their party around pedophilia?
I really think it's just established party politics. You know, Bernie's not part of the establishment, so they're not going to support him.
So Bernie ain't in on the human trafficking and fucking children business like Joe Biden.
No, he doesn't have all the big money ties that all the other candidates do. And so the establishment is part of those ties. So they're going to
the
push.
establishment knows that he's a pedophile, and so they're going to push him to the front so they can control him.
I really don't know.
Yeah, they can control him, because I promise you, those same people that are supporting him right now, when they're sitting there like, we vote for Donald, or we vote for Joe Biden, and then I sit there and I play nonstop clips of Joe Biden sniffing and groping children. If they had that video footage of Donald Trump sniffing and groping children, we would see it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and CNN would still news break it as if it's breaking news. Donald Trump likes to sniff children.
I don't know, man. What do you think happened to all the information that Epstein probably had?
Oh, I guarantee you that Epstein, well, first off, you want to know what's freaking hilarious? I went to work that morning, and I told my coworker, I said, Epstein's going to kill him, or Epstein's going to die today. And sure as shit, he did.
Yeah, how is there no documented footage of this? How have we not seen this?
Because pedophiles are covering up their secrets, Kris. Because
so you don't think the same thing could be going on with Donald Trump?
I'm not. You know what? Here's the thing, man. And this is, I'll entertain the idea that Donald Trump is a part of it. I'll entertain it, but
we pretty much know that he's been a very promiscuous dude his whole life.
Kris,
creeping in on the pageant girls and stuff.
Kris, don't act like you wouldn't roll through a freaking pageant filled with big-breasted ladies with rear ends of glorious grandeur in your eyes, and you would sit there and just be a complete gentleman about it. Your eyeballs would be going a million miles a second. You would, and if you had $10 billion sitting in your bank at the end of the day, Kris, and women were just groping up on you and just grinding up on you button naked, like, come on, Kris, like, get real, dude. You'd be like, the first place we'd go to the coffee shop. Second place we'd go is, back to wherever she's at. Like, come on, Kris. Like, dude's a billionaire. He's married now, a grandfather. Like, dude, come on, man. If he was in our prime and we could talk to, like, a 32-year-old Donald Trump, it'd be way different, dude. So I think judging him like that, like he's a billionaire playboy who had a famous TV show. You don't think that his wife, who again most people can't really find anything negative to say about, goes, maybe if she forgives him, or maybe if she's still with him, don't you? Even if the media is horrible with it, don't you think that maybe, just maybe, Donald Trump ain't that bad of a man? Like, don't you think he's got like family that love him and care about him? And
you don't think they're along for the ride, though?
What's that? No, Kris. He's still a father, a businessman nonetheless, a grandfather, a businessman, true, a playboy, yes. In his younger days, he partied and throwed it down with the billionaires and millionaires. But I don't fault him for it. Now, if he would have been charged with, like, rape and sexual assault and all that stuff, then yeah, I'm sure we'd be having a different conversation and he wouldn't be president of the United States. But they couldn't find anything. At the end of the day, Kris, he's allowed to say grotesque things even if you don't like it. It's just like, well, is it nice to hear?
Honestly, it doesn't. Honestly, he doesn't have the right to be, misogynistic and whatever. But
Kris, right now there's a woman that voted for Trump that would be rolling her eyes at your statement going, he's not a misogynist. He loves women. Like, get out of here, Kris. And then you know what she'd say? I'd let a younger Donald Trump grab me by the pussy. So what do you really want me to say, Kris?
Does he love women for the right reasons?
Right, like, I'm not virtue signaling to women out there that are like, I'm so prim and proper. Like, those are rare. There are women that are dirtier minded than Donald Trump, I guarantee you.
I'm not saying there aren't. I'm saying that you can appreciate women and still be respectful at the same time.
Right, but have you ever looked at a girl and thought, that's a nice ass? So what, we're all guilty now? Like, the woman looks at a guy and goes, oh man, that's kind of like, I like his jawbone. Like, that's a masculine jawbone. You're being objectified either way in some way, shape, or form. Like, You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not about. I mean, people still gotta
I'm
be
not
able to
saying
be people,
you
dude.
you can totally appreciate physical beauty. There's nothing wrong with that.
Would you like me to take your shirt off right now? Would it be would it be appropriate if I gently groped your left breast? Can I take off the strap of your bra? You know, like, we would never have babies in this. We'd like die out in a generation if we couldn't just be people and have that chemistry and that natural reaction. Like, so when a supermodel walks up to a billionaire and butt naked, and you know, I'm an adult. I think I can figure out what happens. I can figure out what happens from there. You like that one? I said that joke a long time ago.
I saw
that was a good one. So, I mean, Kris, is Donald Trump the greatest president that ever lived? I would like to see him fight George Washington in the octagon before I make that decision.
Awesome. I'd watch that.
Right, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'd love to see where his full term goes. He's gonna be president. There's no way.
I think for sure if Biden is the candidate Democrats are pushing, that's a one-way ticket for Donald Trump for another 4 more years.
Right. And so, as I told you back in 2015, Donald Trump will be your president until January 20th, 2025. January 20th, 2025, that'll be the day that Donald Trump steps down from office and is no longer president of the United States. And if the Democrats don't run, Bernie's going to be dead by 2025, and certainly not able to run for president. And if he does, you know what? I would vote for Bernie just because he's still alive. Like, not even political at this point. Like, he probably wouldn't even win, but I just like, holy shit, he's been doing this that long. Like, all right, fuck it. Maybe my one vote does matter in this constitutional republic. You know. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, there's been many times in this history that this country's swing states have switched. The Electoral College is designed so that swing states switch, so that local elections have huge impacts on national levels. I mean, people want to abolish it, and at the end of the day, I go, how do you stop it from being a dictatorship? I mean, because, Kris, I don't know if you know this, I think democracy is a joke. I think democracy
I don't think we have a democracy. We have a oligarchy.
Democrats say we got to fight for democracy. Well, democracy is 10 wolves deciding with the 4 sheep what's for dinner.
Well, democracy, to get democracy, we have to do a lot, like get rid of Citizens United and things like that. Until then, we have an oligarchy.
Right. So, hey, Kris. I don't mean to put you on the spot here or nothing, but tell us what's been going on in Mr. Napper's neck of the woods, man. Like,
man, just all work. This is my time of year where I hibernate and just work, but all the fun stuff's coming up. Going to Vegas in 2 weeks. Going to Orlando in June. Going to Omaha and the end of June, beginning of July for the birth of my next nephew is going to be born.
I'm just looking at some of your stuff there, man. Yeah,
but,
dude, that's some sick Kobe stuff there, man.
Yeah, when Kobe passed, a friend of mine was saying the NBA should make Kobe the logo. I was like, man, I'm gonna wait for the NBA. I can do that. So
right.
I made my own little Kobe NBA influenced logo. One of the really great basketball players. Pretty tragically from the past.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just kind of showing everybody a little bit of snappy clothing here, you know. I mean,
appreciate it.
Well, of course. So why don't you tell a little bit about snappy clothing, Mr. Napper, for those that have never heard of snappy clothing?
Yeah, well, I grew up loving art and drawing and everything. I got into graphic design. To this day, I still do graphic design work, both for my own business and for whatever clients come my way. But I I really like doing like t-shirt designs and stuff for a lot of the freelance jobs I would get. So I thought, I could do this. I like to make some of my own shirts and see if people like them. I'll buy them. So I started Snappy Clothing, and now I make my own stuff. I sell those, and then I do custom clothing for businesses and organizations, and just whoever needs custom clothing. I do design work, get them produced and sent to the customers and clients, and yeah, I do it all, man.
If there's one thing I know about you, Kris, is that you had this vision in your head for as long as I've known you, man. You were doodling.
Yeah.
You were doodling for a long, long, long time.
Probably a big reason why my grades weren't better in school, because I was busy doodling, so studying. But hey, it paid off in the end, right?
Right. So, you got anybody you're working with here lately, or I know you do the camp there, what do you call it? Why is the name slipping me? Or
I did 2 camps.
oh yeah.
I did 2 camps. Make some stuff for Camp Promise, which everything in the Camp Promise collection. If you see that on the right, under custom apparel, go down a little bit further. Right under custom apparel is all the different collections. So the Camp Promise collection, everything sold from there. That's the first one. That all the proceeds go to Camp Promise. That's a camp for people of all ages with neuromuscular diseases, like mine. And they also do some stuff for the muscular dystrophy camp. That's not on there because that's just for their staff. So I have to do. Actually, just got hit up the other day to start working on their staff shirts, and then I have.
How's the MD Adventures going?
Yeah, MD Adventures is a nonprofit my friend and I started. It's kind of similar to Make-A-Wish, but our goal is a little more focused on like outdoor adventures, such as like rafting or mountain climbing or paragliding or things like that. So yeah, I made our logo there, and again, all the merch that's sold from that goes to MD Adventures. We're a new nonprofit. We just actually received our 501c3 certification. So donations made to MD Adventures is tax deductible now. Yeah, we're trying to plan our first adventure, possibly for this September. And we're gonna.
You want to explain this one, Kris?
That was actually a special request. A friend of mine wanted that made, but it's a kind of way for Seattle to rally against Donald Trump. There's a little Sonic flavor thrown in there.
Yeah, no, I see clearly now the rain is gone. But you know what? Speaking of impeachment, he was impeached, but he was exonerated. So
yeah, I think that whole thing was kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, it was a waste of taxpayer dollar. It was a waste.
It was never going to be successful.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, I haven't seen anything that warrants Donald Trump being impeached. So, at the end of the day, what do you do?
Right, to be 100% honest, I didn't pay all that close attention to the impeachment trial. It's just, I knew it was not going to go anywhere. So I was just kind of sick of it, so I ignored it.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, Kris, it's tell you what.
Are you buying a shirt?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm on it right now. I might as well just go ahead and just go ahead and just do this right now while I'm on it. So,
I hope you like it.
At the end of the day, let's see if your website still works.
Fingers crossed.
All right, order received. There we go.
Order received.
And there's nothing on here, sensitive information, right? Boom. Look at that, folks. It's that easy. You can go to snappyclothing.com and you can pick out your favorite shirt, help out Mr. Napper here, as I just did. And mine's a 2X, so it's, I'm a little bigger guy. Kris, you'd probably drown in a 2X, but
I'm a solid medium.
I call that a fat tax, Mr. Napper, and leave it to a Democrat to come up with a fat tax, making it bigger sizes cost more.
There's the shirt suppliers.
Yeah, well,
they charge more for the bigger shirts.
Well, for those of you guys,
I charge the same.
For those of you guys that don't know, I got the Raph is my Ninja Cowabunga shirt because I am a huge Raph fan. And
well, we're both big Ninja Turtle fans.
I know, and I'm pretty sure that I told you a while ago I wanted to get that one, so, hey, it's that easy, folks, snappyclothing.com, pick out your favorite thing, help Mr. Napper out, and if you can, if not, then you suck, so, no, I'm joking, so how's your family been lately, things going good?
Yeah.
You told me your sister got the coronavirus or something?
Yeah, well, no, but without indulging too much of her medical details. Yeah, she's a little sick right now. Not with coronavirus, but just a really bad flu, which is arguably more dangerous than coronavirus.
Right.
I've heard both ways, but she's in the hospital right now, so my family went down there to be with her, so hopefully she's getting better, hopefully.
Nice. Well, what the heck? Well, Christine, I hope you feel better, and if you got the coronavirus, Kris is doing a great job covering up for you.
Influenza A, actually.
Yeah, influenza A, coronavirus, it's all the same. Just get yourself some Purell, some chicken noodle soup, and maybe a hug from mom, and crackers. Don't forget the crackers, and so yeah.
Lots of IV fluids right now, I guess.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the broadcast. Mr. Napper. Like I said, you're always welcome. I love having you on. We can be two different political spectrums and go. I disagree with you, but I don't hate you. I wish I could understand why you're turning into a comrade and you're supporting socialism.
You're just another capitalist, elitist.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, you know what? I love myself some purebred capitalism, and you know what? Hey, you know what? Am I right? So,
what you want.
All right, again, one more time, folks. It's snappyclothing.com. Be sure to pick out, like I said, your favorite thing. Kris has been working hours and hours and hours on end on his vision and his goal. And as you see, it just takes a few clicks to get your size for your rear end. And and then at the end of the day, you're going to look cool in something that's unique and well thought out and independent. And so if you say you're a small business owner, support if you can. And again, Mr. Napper, just a pleasure to have you on. Always come on if you can.
Yeah, I appreciate the plug, and I always enjoy talking to you, my man.
Well, don't go anywhere, because, I still got to make sure this all shuts down, and I'm probably still going to crash this shit before we land it on, but you're my first guest on this forum like this, so,
honor and pleasure.
Who else would it be if I told Mr. Hanna someday, you could see us on a screen, and the mathematical know-how and the just life skill in general it takes to make what you see happening should tell you that I did not need to know how to measure a rhombus. But I will tell you what, I do know that the measurement of a square is a lot harder to do when it doesn't do it for you. Anyways, so wasn't he one of those teachers though that you could see saying, you kids won't have a calculator in your pocket, when you grow up. It's so like, he just seems like he'd be that kind of teacher, although I'm probably not. Maybe Mr. Hanna would call in. You know what? I didn't even do this, but, we could have had a call in. Hey, you know what? I'll leave it open for 1 minute. Mr. Hanna, or Mr. Weatherby, if there's any chance you guys are watching this, Zero, just feel free to, next time you see Kris, call in that number right there. And, we'd love to hear from you. So
that would be hilarious. If one of our old high school teachers called in.
Could you imagine if Mr. Hanna called up and, oh my good lord.
I still remember the day he threw, was it a marker or an eraser at us from across the class?
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, Kris, we were probably little shits. So.
Yeah, I'm sure we deserved it.
But he was still one of the greatest, was he not?
Oh yeah, real high fun this time.
Well, Mr. Napper, as always, a pleasure, sir. You have yourself a good night, and I guess I'll at least in front of everybody here say good night now. But anything else you want to say before you go? Again, snappyclothing.com. Other than that,
appreciate it. No, enjoy Internet Warlords. Is it .com?
Yes, sir.
Get some Internet Warlord merch.
Yeah. Internet Warlords is up and running. It's in the fledgling stage right now. Where again.
Check back soon.
Check back soon. Keep yourself posted. It's not like I'm going anywhere. So, and again, I'm not suicidal. I have no intentions of harming myself or others. And Epstein didn't kill himself. That's my final thoughts for the day. Oh, and by the way, Joe Biden's a pedophile, and the Democrats are about to nominate him. And
vote for Bernie.
Vote for Bernie if you're a Democrat, because it's going to be really hard to defend a pedophile come November.
Thanks.
Right. So,
all right,
Mr. Napper, take it easy, brother.
You too, later.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.